So Jared,
Yep.
why does Ben think he can beat the entire television network?
I don't know why.
Because he's never tried canceling a streaming subscription.
That's so bad. I mean, I know that's the point of these, but
Yeah.
that one's real. Yeah, but okay, sure. I mean, they can be tough.
Like, come on. Have you tried to cancel?
Yeah. No, actually, they make it as hard as possible.
You know what's the worst?
That is true.
There's worse than streaming?
What?
Creative Cloud. Trying to cancel your
I bet.
Creative Cloud, but they're just like beg you to not leave.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Toby, they're like, no,
Yep.
we'll do anything.
Yep.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Podcast. Today we are discussing the film The Running Man. Jared, I'm just like everyone else. My robot puts my pants on one leg at a time.
All right. And to clarify, the new Running Man, not the original Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Correct, the Running Man from 2025.
Yes.
But so my name is Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
Hello. I don't have a quote.
No quote? What?
No. I liked yours, but there wasn't many that I actually liked that I would want to use. So
This one actually made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, that was good,
when
though.
they came. I was like,
forgot
oh,
about
that was a
that
nice, clever twist on the classic line.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Of course, when I put my pants on, I make gold records.
Mm-hmm.
What's that from? Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize it right away. What is it from?
It's from SNL with Will Ferrell when they're doing the cowbell.
Oh, yeah,
and
of
he's
course.
like,
I knew it because I've seen that a million times. Okay, yeah,
he's like, yeah, I'm like,
it's one of the
I'm
best.
just like everyone else. I put my pants on one leg at a time.
I'm surprised you remember that. I don't remember.
But then he's like,
it's been a while.
he's like, but then once I have my pants on, I make gold records.
That's right. Still one of the best skits.
Classic.
Yep.
Will Ferrell, unlike modern day Will Ferrell, that's just
Oh yeah,
just rough.
it is rough.
All right. Anyway, today we will be discussing this movie, our little overview of the film. Sorry, the overview specs of the film or details of the film. Overall thoughts with no spoilers. Then we'll get into spoiler discussion, talk a little bit of cinematography, the score, do some trivia on the film, and then our kind of final thoughts and the overall theme or message of the film.
All right.
So let's get into it. This film came out last year. Well, when we're recording it, so 2025.
Right.
Rated R, 2 hours and 13 minutes. A man joins a game show in which contestants allowed to flee anywhere in the world are pursued by hunters hired to kill them. All right, so this is directed by Edgar Wright. This is us fill a filler in. We covered his filmography
It's been a while now.
a while back, and then this film came out. We haven't gotten around to covering it, so we're adding it to the archives.
Yep.
This is written originally by Stephen King. He was listed first, so a lot of times, so I don't know if that means he actually worked on the screenplay too, because a lot of times if it's just the book it's based on, they'll list them last.
Yeah, that's
But in this
true.
case, he was listed first, so I imagine maybe he did do some work on the screenplay as well, not just the book it's based on.
Interesting.
But also, then we have Michael Bacall and then Edgar Wright, also listed as a writer. So the production costs, what do you think the production costs are?
Well, it's been a while since we've covered his films.
Yeah, true.
I just put it flat 100 million. It sounded right to me.
Okay.
I could be way off though.
No. That's a pretty good guess.
I mean, he's been pretty cheap overall, but this is a lot more CG heavy, and just to make the world in general, even all the practical stuff too. But
Yep. So it is 110 million. So you were close.
so close. Okay.
And then the composer is Stephen Rice.
Yeah, I have down Price, but it might autocorrect it, so I don't know if yours is right or mine's right.
maybe I did it wrong too.
I don't know.
And then
Could go either way.
Chung Hoon Chung is the cinematographer,
Right.
and he was known for he did The Last Night in Soho, which was also Edgar Wright's
That was his last
film before this.
Yeah.
He also did Old Boy and The Handmaiden. Some of the other things he's known for.
I wrote down Wonka also.
Oh, did you do the Wonka?
Yeah, the new one with Chalamet. Yeah.
Let me see. What is it? Was that wrong? Let's see. Let's confirm the.
Oh yeah.
Whether the composer's name. Let's make sure that was right.
Yes.
Because is it Price or Rice? Stay tuned. Price.
Okay.
Yeah.
For him, I wrote. Well, he did Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho were the two with Edgar Wright that he did before, and the other two I wrote down were Gravity and Fury.
Nice.
Yep. Don't remember the score of those, but it's been a minute. But yeah.
All right. So this was not nominated for any Academy Awards.
Okay.
So nothing there. Some of the main cast that I recognize. We got Glenn Powell in the lead role. Lee Price.
Pace.
Yeah,
that's our boy.
I know. Why did I say Price? Because the other guy's
Stephen
Price.
Yeah. Lee Pace is our boy.
Price on the mind.
Foundation.
Lee Pace.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo. Josh Brolin. Michael Cera. Amelia Jones. And then William H. Macy.
I think that's everyone that I recognized.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what'd you think of this movie?
Well, I wanted to ask you, do you remember watching the original with Schwarzenegger?
I mean, I know I saw
Probably a long time ago,
once a long time ago, but it's definitely not a rewatch or not a constant rewatch like Terminator and Total Recall.
Same.
Some like those are the ones I saw a ton of times with him back in the day. But some reason this one, and maybe because it's bad, I don't remember. But it was not a rewatch.
I don't remember.
Or maybe we
either.
just didn't own it on VHS. Like because some of that back in the day, like not everything was so accessible. So it might have just been one of those we just didn't even have the VHS or had a recording of it on VHS. Whereas Total Recall and Terminator, we definitely had had access to, so I could watch it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it in comparison to this one because I never read the book, but I think the beginning of this movie starts really great. And what kind of sucks is it kind of like progressively got worse as it went, at least for me. And it like kind of, because it's like even the start of it, like it has a good momentum and pacing, and then it just kind of like, as it kept going, it was just like, which is like the opposite of you kind of want to keep that like high pace and momentum because of what's going on in the story. And it just like, as it went, just kind of, for me, that's, so then by the end I was like, that was kind of the main thing. And I would say overall, like Baby Driver as like kind of this fast pacing, like did it the best that Edgar Wright has done, I think, because that was pretty consistent the whole way through. But yeah, so that was like, kind of sucked because at the beginning I was like, man, this is pretty great. But yeah, what do you think? You feel that way at all?
Well, so yes, I kind of agree. I think it was just like the third act kind of felt pretty meh. Because I would say like the stuff with Michael Cera, that was kind of fun. Yeah. And that was kind of like towards the end of the second act.
Yeah, I was right in the middle.
So, I mean, it did lag a little bit in there, but not too much in the middle, but because it's just kind of like, there was kind of repetitive. Oh, I'm going to go hide here. I mean, it's stuff you had to do. Oh, I'm going to hide here and then almost get caught and then go hide here and almost get caught. And so there's a couple of those, which is kind of, again, there are opportunities for fun action sequences and different clever ways he kind of gets away. So it's not terrible, but it does like, but then it kind of builds then that interaction with Michael Cera's character. And then that's kind of fun and different. And he's crazy. Like his character's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to see him just because he's a staple with Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
So it's cool that he was in this.
But yeah, kind of from after that, it kind of goes downhill.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, and just the rest of that was kind of meh.
Yeah, especially the stuff on the plane, which was like the very end.
Well,
it should have been very
yes, the stuff in the
lead
plane,
up to it as well. But.
The stuff with the girl and lady in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's I guess you never saw or did you see the original? You think or no?
Yeah, definitely, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. Or not, yeah.
It's been a long time, like you. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this story. Get into spoilers. Right. I think, I think the setup was good, like you talked about. I think, his motivation with having a sick kid and just like the direness of just needing money to make her better it's good setup for his motivation to do what he does and take that risk. I do think, it's kind of weird. I don't know, like there's like there was, but then like, it didn't seem like as much of a, there was something weird there where it's like, it didn't quite believe him that he was torn on like what he oh, I don't want to do this, but I need to do this. Like he just kind of like fell into it more.
I think it's because it's like the only thing that really they try to make you have some conflict with it is his wife. It's just like, promise me you won't do this. And that's like really it.
He's like, I promise you I'll come back. Yeah. And he doesn't actually say, I won't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's really it though. So I know you mean by that.
Yeah. But and maybe he wasn't conflicted. He was just like, this is what I got to do. I got to do it. But he didn't want to tell her.
Which I mean, I would be more on his side anyway. It's like, I mean, something that's being pushed so much that you could potentially die from to make money. But it's like, if that's your only option, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Your wife should understand that. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, so it was a little, I don't know. Yeah, not so believable. Because you'd think his wife would be like, oh yeah, it's our kid. Just like, just do whatever you can. You know what I mean?
Well, and also, I mean, not to get not into the nuance of this, but like, also, which is worse, letting her maybe do a few more scandalous things at her job,
that same thing,
and not die, or you go risk your life and probably die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, yes, but I mean the payout's way higher. For like, I feel like maybe I would just let my wife do some shady stuff that's not going to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this world, because actually this is my first note, is that I mean, this seems to be the only ways that people when we get into themes, just the big divide and
disparity in the classes.
So like, yes, which is a huge theme, obviously. And so it's like, whatever, these seem to be the only like kind of more, I don't want to say sketchy, but just like not traditional, I guess, or like normal job. I don't know. But
it's like the poverty levels. There's a lot more people in like whatever poverty level is.
It's a bigger gap. Yeah.
And then there's like, the people
between the ultra rich. Yeah. And so like, yeah, it's like these kind of jobs are the ones, it's like, this is really all you can get to make money. And then it lends into like kind of the world, because that's one thing that I think is great. It was great about the original too. It's great about the story, is the kind of near future world and kind of over stylized look of it. Because I don't want to say it's Blade Runner, because people might automatically just say that, because anything like this is not. But that's what people automatically would, anything kind of near futuristic. It's kind of closer to, you were just talking about Total Recall. I would say it's closer to that from what I remember, but
yeah.
And obviously the original Running Man, but that's the same world essentially. But yeah, so like the actual world and everything, I think is great, and always has been great for this.
One of the things I kind of wanted to say at the front that I forgot to mention, it doesn't, to me, the one thing that kind of was weird to me, this doesn't feel like an Edgar Wright film.
No.
which is I don't know if that's a good or bad. I'm not saying it's one way or the other. I just felt his well, I guess it's his stamp on it. Like it just didn't feel. And I mean, I would want to say I would think it would made it better if it had a little bit more of. But I also don't want to. What I don't want to do is like, because sometimes you're just like, hey, okay, I got known for doing this style, and I want to try to do something not that way as a creative, and yes. So I don't want to talk down on it because I don't know if it would. But just like if you didn't tell me, I would have never guessed he directed this, which is a lot of his other stuff. Like there's a certain stylized feel to it, including Baby Driver, that you could be like, yes, this is Edgar Wright.
Yeah, it's still for sure him. I think you're right though. I think it's just kind of what he wants to do now and be more serious, because his last film was also very serious. Yeah. And different. So I think it's kind of just what he wants to do now.
That's true. That one had some distinct stuff. One Night in
Last Night in Soho.
Last Night.
Yeah.
No,
so I think he kind of that's kind of.
You're right. They didn't have the same distinct stuff either, but they did have other distinct stuff that kind of still gave it that. I don't know. That one was less, but at the same time, you're right. It would probably, if I just watched it randomly, we can guess he's the director.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, it did have at least some visual uniqueness, I guess, is what that, like, again, that's kind of how he got known, right? Was for, I mean, his a little bit of the comedy in there, and then also the just the way he would kind of shoot things and edit things. Yep. And you're right, like kind of doesn't have that there. And so anyway, I just want to kind of mention that because I thought that was interesting. It was kind of like,
yeah, I imagine just kind of what he wants to do right now.
Yep.
Which makes sense. I mean, how many of his films?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's why I kind of put that caveat in.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I also don't want to look down on it just because you chose to kind of like, hey, I'm trying to do stuff a little differently. Yep. And see if I can do in that and be successful. So do we think like do you think they picked him because he would make for good television, or that they actually thought he could win? Because, he tells them the line that he,
right. I don't know.
Josh Brolin does.
Yeah. I think they just tell him what he wants to hear, because you don't really, I don't know. I don't think it's really a clear answer either way. I think it's more of just what he wants to hear to get him into it. Mm. Because we'll wait till we get to the end, but yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's a little bit both. I think he sees that, hey, because again, spoilers, but we're in the spoilers. At the end we find out that Lee Pace's character was the other person who made it almost to the end in season 1 or whatever, and then they offered him, well, we're not going to kill you, but you got to wear a mask because,
right?
Yeah, that way people don't know that you were that guy. But like, and then he's part of the hunters, and so and at the end of this, kind of not the same thing, but similar, they offer him like, oh, we'll do a whole different show about you and blah blah blah, and so I think if he's a good producer, which obviously he is because he's the producer of this like top show, he's looking for both. Like he's seeing like, hey, here's an opportunity. He might die in the first week, but I think there's I don't think he was lying when he says, I think you could make it. And then, but that, because to him, that's good TV.
Sure. Yeah. You want to you don't want to just get anyone. You want to get someone, not necessarily will win it, but it will at least, go far. Yeah. Because they want to be whatever is best for the show. Yeah. And ratings and all that. Yeah. You're right. I wanted to ask you about because one of my favorite parts is, and from what I remember, this was also great in the original movie as well. But when you see really quick all the different game shows and reality shows, like that's some of the best parts because it's just so ridiculous. But then it's like, it's funny because it's like, there's pretty much shows like that now anyway.
Well, you know, you had the guy running. There was the guy that was running on the hamster wheel, and then like he didn't answer the right question, and if he gets the trivia question wrong, keeps going faster, faster until he like fell off.
Yeah,
and then like it was fall to his death kind of thing. And then there was like some kind of reality show that kind of, I don't know, seemed like
that one's when it kept coming back to it. Yeah,
it kept coming back to
yeah, because I recognize at least one of the people from it, but that was just I mean that's like we already have plenty of that, but yeah, there's one that always went back to that. Wasn't there one of people just like climbing as well? Or maybe that might be from the original. We don't see that much of them.
We see the montage of him doing different tests, and there was some climbing, and they'd flash to the stuff that was like one of the jobs he had and how he got.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because he helps the one guy that ends up being the other people. Remember, he catches them and
yes. Yeah.
So maybe what you're thinking, I don't know.
I think so, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, all that, it was, I kind of wish because it's, it's normally when he's like flipping the channels, but like kind of almost wanted to see just more of that just because it's so ridiculous and over the top. But it's like, it's not that far off because like there's some ridiculous reality shows now, and I mean, I don't think we're that far away from, like, you think about something like Squid Game, and now they did a real life Squid Game, but it's like not real to the point of like you can actually die. But I mean, I feel like we're not that far off from.
Well, I think the death part, maybe, like, I think we're a little ways off.
Sure.
We're like killing people for entertainment.
But something where you could sign off and like you could
risk a lot
to
do something. And then what I was going to say is like, as we kind of get into the game, because it's kind of, they get the bonus money, and but then there's like money that the people can get for turning them in, and like that kind of thing. Like, obviously with social media and apps on a phone and all the stuff, like, I'm surprised there's not something already kind of at that level of like, I mean, I guess we had the, I don't know. I'm just surprised that someone hasn't figured out a way to gamify something like that, where it's like finding things in real life and turning them in or doing something. It like gets you points to do something versus, but then it's helping.
It probably is something like that. I mean, I don't know. Anyone listening, watching, like let us know if there is.
Yeah, the things that come to mind was obviously what was it? What was the name of that? That was like what turned into Pokemon. They use the same thing for Pokemon Go.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it does start with the I.
Yeah. There was that game that kind of was like just to help them pinpoint things. They were using the data to pinpoint things, but then make a game out of it.
Yep.
Which then, of course, they use the same infrastructure to make Pokemon Go, which then was like huge. I remember that summer that thing took off. It was crazy because then people were just out in like random places. Like,
I believe that was about 10 years ago now, when like that was like the biggest when it first came out. You literally just saw everyone on the streets.
Yeah, trying to catch them all.
Yep.
And then I also remember the other thing that made me think about in this, like thinking these things, was what was the trivia game that was like every night, and you could actually win money, and it was like live trivia.
Oh yeah.
And people, I mean, like
that was very short lived though.
But also that guy was like, there was a host, and he got kind of famous.
Yes.
And then I feel like for a while, and you're right, it was not too long, but maybe a month or so, where I feel like like everybody, all my coworkers, other people, everyone was like, hey, it's on, it's happening. And it was like at that time live every evening. And that was kind of wild too. And
yeah, it was. I guess I just didn't make money off of it because it didn't last that long.
I think they were like a startup, and like I think eventually, again, they kind of treated it like a startup where they took their seed money, and that's what they were hoping that they'd get enough sponsors that eventually they would not be losing money. But then I think they ran out of runway, and they were losing money in the start, and hoping that they would get real sponsors. And there was a couple like they were like kind of. I can't remember the brands, but there was a couple that were like fully, but anyway. again, this made me think about that stuff, but also then not surprised that there's not something that's a little bit more like this that like caught on by now.
Yeah, I mean, probably pretty soon then that'll be even more of a invasive thing like this. I don't know. We'll see.
Love Coleman Domingo. I think he did great as the.
Oh yeah,
he was great.
Yeah, you have to have whoever's going to be the host of it, like just over the top as much as possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we talked about him a lot in Euphoria. He's he's a great actor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he seems like he's really just having fun in this because he could just be as over the top as possible. One cool little thing too I did notice, I don't know if you saw, because I don't think you really get to see it that often, but I liked the nod to the original, because the person on the cash was
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I did notice that.
I was like, that's cool. That's a good way to, because I was wondering, I'm like, how much are they going to really nod to the, I was like, they have to nod something at least to the original movie and not just the book, but yeah, so that was a cool detail.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else.
But then what was on the money in the original film, I wonder?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
Even if you even saw it, I don't know, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you said, most time you just saw the digital amount of the money. You didn't really see like actual bills, dollar bills. So so kind of, obviously start out there the surveillance. And we don't have to go through beat by beat, but the you start the realization of like, because then eventually was it Michael Cera mentions like, oh yeah, well they track your DNA, but the first thing I thought about was like, one, I love the setup, and I guess this is from the book, whatever, but like, you have to do the little check-in every day, so that you obviously can't just go hide somewhere and like be in a hole somewhere and and survive for 30 days. So you have to like come out at least for a little bit to drop off your thing. But then it was like, well, once they drop off the mail, they know where they've dropped it off.
Right.
I was like, so that seemed like that'd be an obvious thing that they would use to track you. Then later you find out there's like little DNA sensors or whatever in it, which I was like, oh, okay, that's and I was like, it's probably, I mean, heck, like that's probably in the future.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's like a thing I feel like they might do at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, but I did like how, because I mean it's not really in the rules, so I like how he was like, he didn't say when or where I needed to check in. He's like, so you're gonna watch me sleep, and so like that was a great moment.
So we didn't talk about, but like, so they have the two other people, right? So there's 3 contestants, not just him.
Right.
3 total. So
the girl was in Mandalorian.
Yes.
She's in a few things I've seen her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was the other person?
The guy, I don't know, the guy. Yeah.
And I don't know if I recognize him.
Scrawny guy.
Yeah.
And then later when he meets the young kid and then his brother or whatever, and and then he kind of is like, I guess has like some kind of underground YouTube channel, for lack of a better word. Like
all that stuff I thought was pretty dumb and annoying, especially like showing it at the very end. Even I didn't like that. I don't know how you felt about that.
Well,
I got what they were going for, but
I kind of agree with you. It was kind of weird. I think it wasn't, if you wanted to use it that way, you needed to use him all the time, like throughout the film. Like we needed to see an earlier video of his or two as a setup. And then he finally meets the guy and you're like, oh, you're the guy that's doing these.
Yes.
Cause and it's like, oh, he's
way more sporadic and not.
Yeah, and then to use him at the end, like they did.
Yeah. That was the worst one.
Yeah. Is it like, why? Like it felt very out of place.
Yep.
But if you set that up where he's this person who has an icon is like against like a rebel, right? Like he's one of the people that's, and then we meet him halfway through, like kind of the start of second act is where he kind of,
That sounds right. Yeah.
kind of meets him. And then you're like, oh, and then that would have been a little more exciting because you would have been like, oh, you're the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he gives them some exposition that helps us understand, oh, here's how they set them up. And it's like, oh, they always have this kind of character so they can die early, basically. Yep. And then there's this kind of character, and then there's this kind of character. And of course, Ben is our main guy, falls into the character that's going to stick around a little bit longer, for ratings.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then of course he's kind of educating them, and we're like, but you can't go too far and go too, and like kind of like the balance of trying to keep things where that they're happy with it and they don't want to kill you. Because the reality is they cheat and have all these other ways, like the DNA thing, and they're basically tracking you anyway. So you really can't hide from them unless, again, like they kind of lead to, oh, you guys stay underground and stuff. Of course, that doesn't work out.
Yep.
But they, they're basically not really playing fair.
No.
But then also they're letting you live. And so then he kind of hacks the system by the end and figures out how to like keep them happy, and basically he becomes almost like a producer thing, puts the producer hat on. He's like, okay, well, how can I make this so that now, again, I have qualms with that too in the story, because I think this thing is fun on the surface, this film.
Right.
And there's like, but you start thinking about it too much and you're like, I don't know. That doesn't,
yeah.
And like, and this is one of those things where it's like, why is this guy like, there was ways to do it and to make this a little bit more impactful. Same thing with like when he like figures it out supposedly, but it's nearly not that, I don't think that clear and that obvious. Just kind of hand waving like, oh yeah, they're happy with what he's doing now. Cause he like ditches the gun. He's like, I don't think I need this anymore, and throws out the window, because it's like he has a confidence level. I know I'm just kind of jumping around here, but
no, that's fine.
He has the confidence level that he can then walk up to the Lee Pace's character and know he's not going to try to kill him,
right?
Because he knows that the producers find him too important right now. And it's like, there's nowhere that was like believable. Like that he figured that out, and that it's
not believable that he figured it out.
Like I don't think there was in the film doesn't like set that up to be believable, and that it was like he, like it's
that
like
he was that confident.
No, that he could figure, like there would, I don't know how to explain this and what I'm trying to say. Like I think as a viewer, it's like almost like, oh, the logic needs to be there.
Yep.
Like if Christopher Nolan was doing this, you would have known, he would have had it all figured out so that there was logic on how that worked. And so that you as a viewer, it might be complex, but you could understand it and be like, oh, these are the things why this is working and why he can do this, because we've figured it out. We know how to hack their system.
He would also have it broken down to a scientific level too.
Anyway, I'm just giving as an example of like, there's a way to do this where you as a viewer, along with the lead character, kind of can figure out the logic and how the rating system's working.
Right.
And then so that when you get to that point, you're like confident as a viewer, as same as the character is in the film, of like, oh yeah, he can ditch the gun. And you're almost like, why are you buying with the gun? And then as you're thinking that there's a way to make this film that would be that. And
that's
then
true.
You would feel, I think it would feel much more a deeper film, right? There's like that logic in the world building that is missing.
Yep.
I think that they just hand wave a lot.
I agree.
And then, so, yeah, I know I jumped around a lot. Some Michael Cera's character. No. So then we get our dumb idiot guy gets killed like that. And we get to see that.
Yeah.
And,
but then the other one's just partying all the time too.
Yeah. And which again, they obviously just letting her do that for a little bit for entertainment purposes, because they obviously know exactly where she is, and if they wanted to kill her, they would.
Yeah.
But I guess the difference is because there is the opportunity for a person to turn you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a case, I guess they would have to show up. But like if she's throwing money around and like kind of, then no one wants to turn her in because they're making money off of her. And I guess that character, or, the character type that they always cast in the seasons is one of those, which is entertaining probably to watch. They're partying, they're having a good time.
Yep.
Maybe think of the one guy in Pluribus that was just like living it up in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a great character.
We had Macy's character.
Yep.
Little Mage Macy.
He's before Sarah though. He was at the beginning. Wasn't
He's who he goes to like right off the bat.
Yeah. He's the first one we see.
And that was interesting because then there's that moment where he's like, I was going to hire you. I was going to surprise. I was going to hire you. So it was like he had a job. So things could have kind of maybe taken a turn for the better if he hadn't done this. If he just let his wife like whore it out a couple nights instead, made it last, made it for a few more days.
Yeah, I know. But we don't know how long she's been doing it already. I don't think she says so. I just know that she's like doesn't want to do it anymore, obviously. But
no, she's claiming she hadn't done anything.
I thought she was already.
No, she works there as like a waitress or something.
Sure, but there's a line there that I thought she was talking about how like, oh, I kind of have to do this anyways, but then I'm going to be going to essentially the next level of it. Yeah. She
implied that she was going to, and he's like, no, don't.
Right.
She's like, because so and so make money, and they still aren't giving it up completely or whatever.
Yeah, but that's my point though.
But she hadn't done it yet.
Right, but a lot of those type of places, the waitresses kind of go into that realm anyway, even though she's implying she hasn't. But I'm saying is she's already probably started to dabble in that and then is going to be going further.
See, I didn't take it that way. I took it that way that she still kept it pretty innocent.
And I mean, that's possible, but it just seemed like
she was...
The kind of establishment she's talking about that she works at is just...
Well, that's... So I think you're judging waitresses at those
No, I'm not.
You're making assumptions about it.
No, this is the place that I'm talking about because, I mean, the way she describes it, she describes it enough to where like, I don't know, I'm just saying that's what they have to do anyway. But yeah, I understand he doesn't want her to do that. But to your point also, yeah, maybe do that a little bit longer than he could have. But again, you don't know in the moment. You're desperate with your kid sick. So it's like,
yep.
Yeah.
I know.
It's all part of the story.
So then there's the first moment where we see it's obvious they're manipulating the footage.
Oh, yeah.
And this is also like that could be happening now. This is not
This is the biggest thing that does happen now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but at this level, like we're
right.
It is or can be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, making him say things he didn't say.
Yeah.
Making things play out differently than they really did. And,
this all comes ahead the most at the end, though, on the plane. Is the part that is when it's shown to everyone. It's what he says when he's in the pilot seat, as opposed to what he actually says when he's on the plane. But you're talking about an earlier moment before that?
Yeah, oh yeah. They do it earlier than that.
No, I know. Yeah, which moment in particular are you talking about?
Well, the first, like when he, although the hunters caused the destruction, the network portrays Ben as a terrorist who deliberately murdered the national heroes. The first time when the explosion and stuff. And it's like, he's yeah, he's trying to work against even what, himself, of like what he is perceived by the society. Which is like a reality of, like you said, all of us could deal with. I mean, obviously most of us are not important enough to have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. But it's definitely a reality of like, you can definitely make people look like they're saying things.
Oh yeah. There's plenty of people that believe that now. Yeah.
Did we really land on the moon?
Oh, was it Stanley Kubrick who directed it before he died?
And then there's the time where he delivers one of his videotapes. He does a whole monologue on, and then it's like they don't release it, and that's when he realizes. I don't think before that he realized how much they were editing him.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I don't think we see him reacting to it the first time. Yeah, I don't think he knows about it.
Yeah, we were talking about Jenny was living it up as the third, the other character, because she's the next one to die. But then to find out, I think it was also a realization that, like, you get these, like, for lack of a word, like bounty hunters or whatever you want to call them, that just because she got killed by just regular civilians that just wanted to cash in on the so not even the hunters. And that was like I
mean, both those characters, there's not much to them because they're not going to be around that long.
So it's Michael Cera's character, Elton. And his mom.
His name? I don't know.
Yeah,
with his mom. Yeah.
His mom, like that whole thing was ridiculous and,
that was
fun.
Good.
Like, it was a whole booby trapped house, and
yes,
he had all kinds of stuff. But he also then just dies on the just gets shot.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, okay, that's abrupt into that.
Yeah, I actually thought he would be in the film longer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it was still good to see him in it, regardless.
All right, so then the scene with him hijacking the lady's car.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of dumb.
Yes.
Like, this was, one, the fact that, like, to play with, like, the way, I don't know, there was manual override, or was there manual override, whatever, and it's like, and then it was like, suddenly she was like, I'm on empty, but then she wasn't, and then, like, because it's like, oh, they're wanting him to run because it's the game, and they want to keep it going for the show, and then it's like, and then he gets pulled over by this, again, other like kind of bounty hunter type guys, and then they get taken out by the.
There's a whole like roadblock set up, isn't there?
That's later.
Okay.
But
he gets pulled over before that.
They get pulled over before the roadblock.
Okay.
And because roadblock's right as they pull up to the airport.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So before that, they get pulled over, and it's because there's patrol people that are like kind of
right. Okay.
Kind of rent-a-cops or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And then they, but then before they can shoot them, then they get shot by just like the orb thing that.
The thing is filming the whole time.
The filming the whole time. And you're like, oh, that could have killed him at any point too.
Yeah.
Because evidently it can kill things because it just blew those guys up in their truck.
Yeah, that was a surprising moment.
But then that's the reveal to her that like, oh yeah, because then they make up this thing where she's like hanging out the window and she wasn't hanging out the window, and she's like, help, and she's like, oh okay, yeah, this is. She finally believes him.
Yeah, I would say like all the stuff in the car and the plane. And then the whole ending, it's just like these are the parts that I was
this is
kind of like
where this is where it's like what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
like suddenly he's got. It's almost like when Neo finally clicks in the Matrix, in the first Matrix, and he starts seeing everything through the code, and it's like all of a sudden he can manipulate everything. But that works because they built the world to understand.
I was going to say that's a bad comparison because that's a great moment and everything makes sense.
No, I'm saying that moment should have happened.
What he used to do.
If they would have built the world properly in this, that should have hit that hard. This moment when all of a sudden you start to feel that he's like, oh, he understands. He knows how to manipulate the system. That's how it should have felt there.
For sure.
If it was done right.
Yeah.
But instead it feels dumb because it makes no sense. But anyway, and then he gets to the airport, and of course we get the reveal that it's Lee Pace under the, not that we didn't know because you could tell by his voice, but
you tell by his voice, and he's like 6'5". So no one else is nearly as tall as him. Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then of course they get on the plane, but then he thinks he has the bomb in the purse. And the funny thing is, I saw them scan when they walked on, and I was like, well, if they can scan him, then they can definitely tell what he had. And then sure enough, like 5 minutes later, he's like reveals, oh yeah, we knew you didn't have a bomb.
Yeah, they just let him. Yeah,
because it's best for TV. And then you're like, oh,
it's the drama of it. Yeah.
And of course he gives.
But that's another thing, though. He should have known that. He should have known that. Like, there's no way he could have gotten away with that moment, especially going through the scanner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things like that.
Of course, they give him the be a star of your own show.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he rejects it. And they try to basically fake his death by, how
this is the biggest
propaganda type of thing.
Like, this is the biggest video manipulation change. Yeah. Because it's like a really long speech, right? And it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then this is where it's like and also then he was done because it's almost like it's like, oh, so and so found the black box, and it's like, and then we have our dude again that, like, again, if maybe they built it up in the world building of him as well, part of it would have had a bigger impact because I think it would have built a little bit more of a connection with the broader rebellion that we've all seen in Star Wars or whatever, right? Star Wars does a great job of, like, you care about the rebellion, not just Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
This, we don't care about the rebellion.
No.
We care about our main guy, but we don't care about the rebellion. And again, like, if you would have done a little bit better in the script, building that out, I think there could have been more meaningful there, which then, of course, like we already talked about, setting up the guy with the YouTube channel, whatever.
Yes.
Like, then here at the end, having people, the broader rebellion, kind of pulling the pieces together wouldn't have felt so, like, random and out left field. And but I think the idea of it is right, that it, like, turns the audience against the show, basically, like, hey, we've pulled the curtain away from your eyes and you now see the truth. And then well, that's
why we literally get the scene afterwards, or I guess the very end scene where they actually all storm the set.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's able to,
I believe that's the final scene.
Yep. Right? Well, and then he kills.
Yeah, but that set when he's there, or no, they all come in and destroy the set, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then kill him. Yeah.
Yep. And that's basically the end.
That's it. Yeah. But then, well, over the credits, it's another bad propaganda video.
Yes.
Which I think is the worst one. That I didn't like over the credits, but
yeah,
not propaganda. Sorry,
YouTube video. Like,
YouTube.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's a
rebellion video.
Rebellion, sure. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. I forget what he even named it.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's like the going from all that when, like, the very beginning I thought was pretty strong. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why it was a bummer, just like seeing those differences in the film.
Nope, 100%. Cool. Anything else on?
No.
Talk a little bit about cinematography.
Yeah.
I think it balancing, making it doesn't seem too far in the future.
Yeah.
I think works well in this.
Yes.
And kind of trying to make it feel like that.
It's just, it's more just near future. Yeah. Like that's why, that was probably the thing I liked the most about it, is that it still kept to like I don't want to say normal world, but just not leading into any type of dystopian cyberpunk or Blade Runner type of feature that is kind of whatever everything tries to kind of fall into or copy. And this was a little more just, I don't know, do we ever even get a year? I don't think we do.
So. Nope, we do not.
But it's just like near future. Yeah.
Because there's something trivia about that.
Oh, okay.
I think the visuals for like the stuff that make it feel like a game shows and stuff was done well to make it feel very like TV-ish.
Yes.
For lack of a better way.
Reality show. Yeah, definitely.
I think again also all the different screen sizes, camera surveillance thing, all those things were done really well and felt really believable.
Oh, seeing from like
just all the different perspectives you saw things happening from different and just the layers of seeing something on a little screen in a car versus like in screens here and there,
or the actual orb thing,
vintage TVs.
Yep, that too. Yeah, I just that was the thing that I thought looked the best about the visuals, because I don't have like a specific shot that I was like, oh, this is sick. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like that stood out to me. But it felt good, because that's what I mean. Like that's why I figured the budget was more, because there's way more CG in this, but also still seemed like a decent amount of practical, which was great too. So I'm glad that was the case. And still managed to keep it in you said 110 million. Yeah. So
I think the locations, I guess like everything was so much more grounded and less like not a lot of wide shots other than just like an establishing shot here or there.
Yeah.
That they really could be anywhere, but he was in New York, he was in Boston. Even where he was when he started, like they don't really say.
No.
But he was in a different city, I guess, because then he leaves and goes to New York, and then he leaves and goes to Boston.
Right.
And then he leaves and goes out in the middle of nowhere country.
Yes.
And eventually, he tries to go to Canada, or the border when he's in the plane. Wants it to be dropped
I think so,
off
but I mean, and that's fine, because it's like we don't need to know. It's not really relevant to know exactly which, because it's all like, that's kind of the point about the near future, is that all these places look very similar now, or at least the cities do.
I think overall, I think the visual effects worked pretty well. It's pretty seamless.
None of them were bad. No.
I think everything was pretty good from that perspective.
For sure.
Blended well. Practical wherever they were, it's like, that's the point, right? You can't tell what was practical and what wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think that was good. All right. What about the score? I don't remember anything from the score.
Okay. I always want to ask you first, but I don't remember the score in Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho as much. Baby Driver is mainly needle drops, though.
Yeah,
say.
that's what I was gonna say. Even
Last Night in Soho, I think actually, from what I remember, I did like the score up, but this it was fine. But it was a very generic modern film score. Nothing stood out at all, unfortunately. But I think Last Night in Soho was the one that actually sounded more original, from what I remember, of these ones that he's done.
yeah, I feel like it had some
Gravity and Fury, I'm sure, are great. I just don't. That
it had some needle drops too, but in a different way, didn't it?
Yeah, because of the period piece, I think. Yeah,
Some
like older
songs,
ones, but
yeah.
it was not as many. Baby Driver, because of him wearing the
Headphones and just putting tracks in.
yeah.
He'd create playlists.
But that was cool because they added it to the sound, which was really cool.
Well, let's do a little trivia.
Okay.
This is all stuff that's found in IMDb. As we mentioned, the first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger, star of the original The Running Man film from 1987, appears on the currency in this film. The giant N logo above the network building is colored red and resembles the Netflix logo. Everywhere else in the film, the logo is colored white. This is a subtle dig at Netflix, who director Edgar Wright says ran trailers for his film The World's End that carelessly gave away the ending.
Whoa.
So he has a beef with Netflix.
Okay. I like that he put that in the film, man. That's great.
Tom Cruise called Glenn Powell, with whom he co-starred in Top Gun,
Maverick, yeah.
to give him advice before shooting this film. Powell recalled, Tom rang me to give me the lowdown, and what I thought would be a 10-minute call lasted 2.5 hours. He basically told me how not to die. He also gave me running lessons. He said,
of course,
you should film yourself running because you don't look as cool as you think you do. He was so right.
Very true.
And I thought this was awesome. But I also thought of it in the film when we see him start running and he start running. He kind of runs like Tom Cruise runs.
Oh, yeah.
And then, and it's funny because, and then the note that Tom Cruise gives him is like, film yourself so you know what yourself looks like. And then you will adjust your running. And then basically you end up running like Tom Cruise does, which is.
Yeah. And I had a feeling of that because I remember them being in Top Gun Maverick together. So I immediately thought about that too when he was running. I'm like, I bet he gave him some pointers. Yeah.
Edgar Wright told Stephen King to watch Hitman to convince him that Glenn Powell was the right choice to play Ben Richards.
That movie was awesome.
Which also, this note means, Stephen King is way more involved in this than like your average person that wrote the book.
Okay.
Which must be why he was listed higher up as the writer. The original cover art for the 1982 novel featured the tagline, Welcome to America in 2025. When the best men don't run for president, they run for their lives. This film adaptation was released in November of 2025, the exact year in which the source material is set.
Right.
While the 1987 film version moved the setting to 2017, Edgar Wright chose not to specify a calendar year on screen to maintain a timeless dystopian atmosphere.
Yeah, that's smart.
Despite the meta significance of the production's timing.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, you don't want to date it that way. We've already ran past all these sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's also funny that they moved it up. In the original film, we're going to make it 2017 instead of 2025. Because there's no way that would be. It cracks me up because like all the stuff from like the 70s and 80s, it like assumed that like by the year 2020 things would be crazy, and it hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just going out through all these years. Yeah, Back to the Future year, Blade Runner year. I mean, it's crazy to think about.
Coleman Domingo filmed all his scenes in 2 days.
Dang.
Yep.
That's very impressive.
Glenn Powell said Arnold Schwarzenegger, star of the original The Running Man, gave him his full blessing, whatever that means. The scene where Richards and his two fellow runners are presented with their Running Man uniforms was filmed in the changing rooms of Tottenham's Hotspurs Football Club in London, England. Whilst doing a promotional interview in the UK for the film, director Edgar Wright said that while filming the scene, assistant director Richard Graysmark deliberately wore a replica shirt of Arsenal Football Club, Tottenham's longstanding bitter local rivals, as an act of rebellion. Apparently, the Hotspur staff were not amused and asked the film crew to leave immediately once the wrapped filming.
Oh,
So they
wow.
were kind of like, you guys got to get out of here. Thought that was kind of funny. He was like trolling him, and then they got pissed.
People get serious with their teams. Very
Especially-
serious. Yeah.
Especially football and
Oh,
Europe. Football. When Ben Richards is in the airport, at a television monitor displays scenes from Skyjacked from 1972. This film featured James Brolin as an unstable hijacker in the Charleston Heston as the aircraft captain. And of course, James Brolin is the father of actor Josh Brolin.
Right. That's cool.
So used one of his.
Nice.
Buckman Street bus station in Glasgow, Scotland serves as the South Boston Transit Station. Production for the film utilized various Scottish locations to double for dystopian American cities, specifically employing Glasgow's architectural styles to represent New York, Boston, and Detroit. Other city landmarks appearing in the film include the brutalist Anderston Center, Union Place, and the Ovo Hydro. So so maybe was he supposed to start from Detroit? Maybe that's where he was when he started, and then he went to New York and then Boston. Because they don't really. I didn't pick up on
Maybe,
the
but
name.
that's a good way to depict it, though. Is using what the places they did in Scotland for like a more futuristic dystopian America. That's cool.
The official footwear of the Running Man are red Puma Easy Riders.
Yeah.
Just after the 16-minute mark in the film, there's a close-up of Ben's shoes, where it's visible that the Easy Rider logo has been scratched off.
Nice.
The dressing room scenes features jumpsuits labeled with the surnames of actors from prior Stephen King
Prior Stephen King.
films
Films,
and television adaptations. These names included Skarsgård, Bates, Spacek, I guess how you say it, and Lloyd, which would serve as nods to Bill Skarsgård, It 2017, and Chapter 2, and Kathy Bates from Misery, Sissy Spacek from Carrie, and then Danny Lloyd from The Shining.
Nice. Didn't even see that.
The
That's
film
cool.
also contains various references to The Running Man, author Stephen King's other works. When Ben first starts running, and later when he grabs a taxi, there is a bar restaurant in the background called Bachman's. King used the pseudonym Richard Bachman to write the original novel.
Oh, yeah. It's one of his aliases, yeah.
A shop sign that reads Toby's is visible in the street when Richards is dressed like a priest. This is a nod to Tabitha King, Stephen King's wife. An early scene at Matchbook, a Matchbook reads Darnell's Garage, location from King's novel Christine. And then a road sign appears for Derry, Maine, a prominent location in King's Tales. And then Ben hides at a house with the number 1708, a reference to King's haunted hotel room story 1408.
Huh.
I don't know why that's a reference. Why wouldn't the house just be 1408? I feel like that might be people reaching.
Yeah, it could be a reach.
But
still, the amount of
nods
that's awesome. Yeah, that many nods, because I did not catch even half of this.
Cool. All right.
That's awesome.
Final thoughts and themes and message. What do we...
I touched on a little bit, but my main thing is like the theme of this film. It's a pretty modern thing right now. Just a major class divide between the very top elites and everyone else in the world, which we see that even expand even further in this. And then manipulation in the news and media through AI, which is already a thing, but this is just like even more so. So, and
taking it to the extreme here.
Yeah. And those are kind of two biggest things, I would say.
Yeah, I just kind of put it, the upper society manipulating the lower society to for their benefit is basically.
Yeah.
So final thoughts on the movie. I guess one of the big things is, did it warrant a remake?
I think it's. I would say yes, because it's still enjoyable, especially the start of it, and it's still worth watching, I would say. But by the end, I was pretty done with it. But I think it warrants it. Yeah, because I don't remember the original being that incredible of a film anyway, and especially if you went back now, it's pretty cheesy. But I don't know. I don't remember it.
Right, I don't either.
Yeah.
I think it was a good idea to do it. I think, like I said, I think it didn't land as well as it could have, because I think the concepts in here, as we kind of talked through, are very relevant.
Very relevant, yeah.
And what it's talking about is very relevant.
Yes.
And so I think there was I don't know, I feel like there's a miss. It just didn't land as well as it could, because I think if in the right way, this could have been a really powerful film from just entertainment wise, but then also having something to say about where society could end up, just like a Black Mirror episode
in 2020. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good way to put it. There's plenty of Black Mirror episodes that do it better and are older, which is crazy. Like even some that are like 10 years ago that predicted it way better, which is crazy to think about. But
well, let us know what your thoughts are. Have you seen this version of The Running Man? Did you see the other one and are more familiar with it than I am?
Or the book, because we didn't.
Or the book, because neither of us have read the book. I forgot to pull out our poster. Even we have the Running Man poster right there.
Oh yeah, here. Go ahead.
But yeah, if you guys have seen it and have any thoughts or feelings that you want to share, should have put that out when we were doing this. But
all right, watch the video if you're an audio listener.
Yeah, we've got the little Running Man posters from this film. And then, so if you do, please email us feedback@screentimepod.com, or, leave a comment or DM on one of our social platforms. If you don't already, please like and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And next week, we will be doing Wuthering Heights.
Okay.
And then Avatar, Fire and Ash, Backrooms, and then Obsession. So that's kind of what we have in the pipeline right now. A bunch of one-offs.
Yeah.
Kind of some of those are finishing up some directors we already covered prior. And then, of course, doing the couple of films that the directors only have single films. But anyway, until then, if you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.